Hi, I'm Johnny and you're watching the Hexy Beast. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a quick look at this expansion from Marvel Champions, The Rise of Red Skull. There's not going to be much gameplay, but I am going to go over what's new. So anyway, let's just get it to the table and get on with it, shall we? So as always, we're going to take a look at the back of the box. You won't bring me to heel, but I may do it, but never one such as yourself. I am a kind that dares to seize the throat of the world. This giant-sized 256 card expansion pits you and your friends against the villainous Red Skull, the forces of Hydra and a host of cold-blooded mercenaries working in their service. The Rise of Red Skull features 5 all-new, all-different interconnected scenarios that weave a tale of action and adventure and will challenge even the heartiest of heroes. Will you survive the gauntlet, stand tall, and resist the rise of Red Skull? Anyway, let's just have a look. Okay, so as far as play deck goes, you're going to get 2 in this set, and you're going to get Spider-Woman, and you're going to get Hawkeye. And an interesting thing about Spider-Woman is that she can take more than one aspect. And with Hawkeye, he has a lot of arrows in his deck, which allow him to do quite strong attacks, should he have the resources to play them. Okay, let's get a good look at the villains and then I'll explain some of the new terms. And on top of that, you also get 5 different scenarios in the box. So let's just have a quick look at these scenarios. So the first one is Crossbones, which has a weapon attachment and he gains piercing. If we look through his cards, you can see that his scheme also requires the use of some parts of the core set, which is why this is an expansion, but it's not standalone. If we have a look through, you can see he's got a few attachments, you know, some full auto, a few Hydra bombers, etc. Just, you know, he's generally your first. He's your first of this campaign, and he's just basically round 1. And after that, you'll be getting Absorbing Man, which is, as you can see, 2 scheme and 3 attack for his level 3, and as you can see, after Absorbing Man activates Ice and Stone trait, this is basically an elemental enemy, and as he gains different traits, he's going to have different things, you know, happen based on the environment, etc. So there's a lot of good cards in this one, and it can be a little tough, but I personally didn't find too much trouble being Absorbing Man, which is more than I could have said for Taskmaster, because Taskmaster took me multiple attempts. And I also had to change the aspect of my deck while I was playing against him, because he just has, if you look here, he basically accelerates all the time. And if you look on his card, you can see that after the player changes to hero form, they discard the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the number of icons on that card, which is also pretty bad, because he has a lot of boost icons in this deck. He's also very good at adding lots of threat to the scheme, so you really need to come at this guy with justice, in my opinion, in order to be successful. But he was probably one of my favourite villains in this set. And then we have Zola, who was just another tough guy. He basically gave me a bit of trouble the first time round, but after I've got used to the expanded difficulty of the set, he basically just, you know, he's just the spot to unlock some more stuff, ready for the final battle. And speaking of the final battle, the final scenario deck you'll get is this Rise of Red Skull, which is a pretty strong deck, to be fair. Should make sense, as it's for the end of the campaign. The interesting thing about this deck is he gets his own set of side schemes, which, if I can pick them off the top, I'll show you. His own set of side schemes that come out every turn. So, like, part of his... his ability is that every turn he'll put one of these side schemes. Like I said, it's quite a tough deck, but to be honest, it was the perfect deck to round off the end of the campaign. But as well as being able to play all those scenarios individually, it also comes with a campaign for up to 4 players. I've obviously only played it through solo with Hawkeye. You can print off this back sheet as well if you don't want to draw on the book. But as you can see, it's very minimal upkeep. There's a bit in scenario 1, a bit after scenario 2, and a bit after scenario 4. So not too much in the way of campaigns. But what I really like is the way it tells the story. It uses these comic book strips, which to me is just lovely. It really adds some theme to the game. I'm not going to show you anymore because it's spoilers, you know, it is a campaign game. Which basically brings me on to this encounter set, which is basically the stuff you're going to be unlocking while you play through. So we've got, you know, we've got laser cannon, emergency teleport. These are all stuff that you can upgrade with and unlock throughout the game. It'll give you a certain point at which to choose one. Also, you may notice with these upgrade cards, they have a improved side as well as a basic side, which you'll get later in the game. So yeah, so that's the campaign deck for the easy mode. It also comes with a bigger campaign deck for the expert mode, which if we have a look at by here, we can see it has a few more obligations. We have lots of obligations. This is basically going to be very hard. I'm looking forward to trying it on expert, to be fair. Okay, as well as the new campaign play, we also have a few more keywords on the cards, and I'm just going to go through them now. So we have Insight, which is basically when a card with Insight X keyword is revealed, place X threat on the main scheme, which can be a bit of a problem for us. We also have Permanent, which is a card with a permanent keyword cannot leave play. We have Piercing, which is an attack with piercing keyword discards any tough status cards from the target of the attack before dealing damage. We have a ranged keyword, which is an attack with ranged, ignores the retaliate keyword. And we also have the setup, which is the kind of card that means that it'll begin in play. Anyway, so that's all the new keywords sorted. I'm just going to show you some of the encounter set, and then I'm just going to go on to tell you what I think. Okay, so the Rise of Red Skull also comes with 4 new encounter sets. We have the Experimental Weapon set, which is a lot of attachments for the Red Skull. We have the Hydra Patrol, which is just more minions, which you can add to any deck. We also have the Hydra Sidearms, which is attachments to go along with Hydra Patrol. And finally, we have Hydra Assault, which is basically high-level versions of these other minions that we have in the Hydra Patrol. So that basically covers all the encounter sets. I've shown you the campaign cards. Now, let's just go back to the table where I can tell you what I think of this expansion. Okay, so this is the part of the video where I tell you what I think. And the first category I'm going to mark it out of is aesthetics. And personally, I'm going to give it an 8 for aesthetics because I feel like it really does up that drama with the art. There's a few nice different versions of some of the allies I like. For example, there's a nice new version of Mockingbird, which has some really nice art on it. And I also quite like that they went for the quite old school style with Spider-Woman. So I've decided to give this one an 8 out of 10 for aesthetics. Okay, so that brings us on to gameplay. And for gameplay, I've decided to give this one a 9 out of 10. This is mainly because I really feel that this campaign play really adds an extra layer to the gameplay that was already there in the core set. I also feel that the difficulty in general has been raised just enough to make it feel like more of a challenge for someone who has played the game before. It really does just sort of add those new keywords, keep things interesting. It really does feel like a step up from the core game. Okay, so this brings us on to accessibility. And in this case, I've decided to give it an 8 out of 10. I feel that it is a great way to move on from the core set. I like that it doesn't require previous expansions in order to function. I like that everything in it can be used with your core set. It has a few new modular encounter sets. It's just generally, as expansions go, is quite accessible, and I thought the way the campaign was implemented was really streamlined and straightforward. So for that reason, it's got an 8 out of 10 for accessibility. So that gives Marvel Champions, the Rise of Red Skull expansion, a total score of an 8.3 out of 10, which is an amazing score for me. I think this is the perfect expansion to add if you've only got the core set, and then afterwards you can just sort of pick up the heroes you like and the scenarios you want to add. This really does feel like the first major expansion to the game, and I for one am quite enjoying it. I've also ordered the Galaxy's Most Wanted, so that's going to be coming soon, so stick around for a video on that eventually. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the video, and if you like anything you see here or want to add this to your collection or anything else on my shelf, please feel free to check out the link in my description to Firestorm Games. They're my local store, and I really like to help them out. Also, if you like what you've seen here, please feel free to smash that subscribe button up there and check out another one of my videos up here. I've been Johnny, you've been watching The Hexy Beast. Thank you for watching, and most of all, stay hexy everyone!